Hey there, and welcome to Timeless Narrations. Today we're diving into The Hunger Games by Suzanne Collins. Whether you've read it before, seen the movie, or are just curious, this is one of those stories that keeps you hooked from start to finish. It's gritty, suspenseful, and still relevant. This summary is designed to be chill and easy to follow, perfect for listening while you work, study, or just relax. So, let's head into Panem and see what makes this dystopian world so captivating. Let's start with the world building. Panem is a dystopian society that emerged from the ruins of North America. The country is divided into 12 districts, originally 13, but the 13th was obliterated during a failed rebellion. Hovering above all of them is the capital, a high-tech, ultra-wealthy city that controls everything. Each district has its own industry: agriculture, textiles, electronics, and so on. District 12, where our main character lives, is responsible for coal mining. It's the poorest of them all. The Hunger Games were invented by the capital as punishment for the rebellion. Once a year, every district must send one boy and one girl, between ages 12 and 18, to fight to the death in a massive arena. It's brutal, televised, and turned into a national spectacle. The last tribute standing wins. Our protagonist is Katniss Everdeen, a 16-year-old girl living in District 12. Life is hard. After her dad died in a mining accident, Katniss had to grow up fast. Her mom shut down emotionally, so Katniss became the breadwinner, hunting illegally in the woods and trading in the black market to feed her younger sister, Prim. Katniss is resourceful, cautious, and emotionally guarded. She has a best friend and hunting partner named Gale, and while there are hints of romantic tension between them, survival always comes first. She doesn't seek attention or rebellion, at least not at first. All she wants is to keep her family alive. Everything changes at the Reaping. The Reaping is the annual event where tributes are chosen. Every child's name is entered once at age 12, but you can add more entries for extra food, called a tessera, which means the poorer you are, the higher your odds of being chosen. At the Reaping, Prim's name is drawn. Katniss immediately volunteers in her place. It's a jaw-dropping moment because no one in District 12 ever volunteers. This act of love sets the entire story in motion. The male tribute is Peeta Mellark, the baker's son. Katniss remembers that years ago, Peeta once gave her burned bread when she was starving. That small act of kindness stuck with her. And with that, Katniss and Peeta are on a train to the capital. The contrast between the capital and District 12 is jarring. Katniss and Peeta travel in luxury for the first time. Hot showers, rich food, soft beds, but it's all surface. They meet their mentor, Haymitch Abernathy, a former Hunger Games winner from District 12. He's drunk, bitter, and harsh, but he knows how the system works. Then there's Effie Trinket, their overly peppy Capitol escort, who says things like "may the odds be ever in your favor," with way too much enthusiasm. And then there's Cinna, Katniss's stylist. Unlike most Capitol citizens, Cinna is calm, kind, and grounded. He designs an outfit for the opening ceremony that literally lights Katniss and Peeta on fire. Symbolically, of course, and she instantly becomes the girl on fire. Cinna becomes one of the few people Katniss genuinely trusts. Before the games start, tributes train in various skills: climbing, combat, camouflage, and so on. Katniss keeps a low profile, but impresses during private evaluation, when she shoots an arrow through an apple in a roast pig's mouth. It's bold, and it gets her a high score. Then come the televised interviews. Tributes are expected to charm the audience and attract sponsors who can send them help during the games. Peeta shocks everyone by confessing that he has a crush on Katniss. It's unclear if it's real or just a strategy, but either way, the audience eats it up. Katniss is furious at first, thinking it weakens her. But Haymitch insists that playing the star-crossed lovers could be their best bet at survival. This begins one of the central tensions of the book: what is real and what is just for show. The games begin in a high-tech arena with forests, lakes, and a massive cornucopia full of supplies. When the countdown ends, chaos erupts. Tributes rush to grab gear. Katniss secures a backpack and runs. Around half the tributes die in the first few minutes. She survives alone for days, avoiding conflict and using her hunting skills to stay alive. She gets burned, nearly dies from dehydration, and constantly fears attack from the career tributes, a pack of well-fed, well-trained kids from wealthy districts who usually dominate the games. To her horror, Peeta is part of their alliance. He seems to have betrayed her. Katniss climbs trees to stay hidden. At one point, she drops a tracker-jacker nest on the careers, killing 2 and scattering the others. She gets stung herself and hallucinates, but it gives her the chance to grab a bow and arrows. This is a turning point. With her preferred weapon in hand, Katniss is no longer just surviving, she's fighting back. Katniss allies with Rue, a small and clever 12-year-old from District 11. Rue reminds her of Prim, and their bond is sweet and protective. Rue teaches her about medicinal plants and shares knowledge of the arena layout. They communicate using a 4-note tune with mockingjays, genetically engineered birds that mimic songs. Their bond deepens quickly. Katniss learns how much Rue has suffered and how little power the outer districts really have. For a moment, amid all the violence, there's warmth, connection, and hope. Their big move is destroying the careers' food supply. They spot that the careers have booby-trapped their stash using mines from the initial launch pads. Rue helps distract, while Katniss sneaks in and shoots arrows at bags to trigger the explosions. It works. The careers are thrown into chaos. But tragedy follows. Rue is caught in a trap. Katniss arrives too late to save her. As Rue dies, Katniss sings to her, a soft, sad song about the meadow, and then surrounds her body with flowers, making her death about more than violence. It's an act of rebellion, an insistence that Rue mattered. She gives a 3-finger salute to the cameras, a traditional District 12 gesture, now loaded with defiance. The gesture becomes iconic. In District 11, riots break out. The capital starts to sense unrest building. Rue's death changes Katniss. Her grief becomes anger. It's no longer just about survival. It's about injustice. Then comes a rule change. 2 tributes from the same district can win if they're the last ones left. It's clearly a ratings move to hype the romance. Katniss finds Peeta, severely injured from a leg wound. He's hidden in the mud near a stream, camouflaged so well she nearly misses him. She helps him back to a cave, where she cleans his wounds and starts the act. Kissing him, calling him sweetheart, feeding him soup. But it's not all an act. She starts to care, or at least, she can't deny her gratitude, her guilt, and her confusion. Peeta, though, is clearly all in. They bond in the cave, sharing stories and memories. Peeta reveals he noticed Katniss long before the games, describing the first day of school, the moment he fell for her. Katniss is stunned. No one's ever looked at her that way. To get medicine for Peeta, she must attend a feast, a capital trap where supplies are placed at the cornucopia. It's a bloodbath waiting to happen. Katniss goes anyway. She nearly dies but is saved by Thresh, the male tribute from District 11, who spares her life to honor Rue. With the medicine, Peeta recovers. Their bond deepens as they fish, forage, and rely on each other. Still, Katniss is torn. What's real? What's strategy? What happens when the games end? Only a few tributes remain: Katniss, Peeta, Cato, and Foxface, a sly girl from District 5 who avoids direct conflict. Foxface dies from eating nightlock berries that Peeta accidentally leaves out. Then the capital unleashes one last horror: mutant wolves that resemble the fallen tributes. They're huge, vicious, and eerily human. It's a twisted psychological weapon designed to break the tributes emotionally and physically. Cato, Peeta, and Katniss end up on top of the cornucopia, surrounded by mutts. Cato grabs Peeta in a chokehold. Katniss shoots Cato to weaken him, and he falls to the ground, but doesn't die right away. The mutts tear at him through the night. Eventually, Katniss ends his suffering with an arrow. It's disturbing, not glorious, just grim, and it leaves Katniss more shaken than triumphant. With Cato dead, Katniss and Peeta think it's over. But then the Capitol announces that the rule change is revoked. There will only be one winner. The betrayal is instant and chilling. Katniss realizes the Capitol always planned to have a single victor. They were just using the romance to boost ratings. Katniss doesn't hesitate. She pulls out the nightlock berries that killed Foxface and offers to eat them with Peeta. Together. A double suicide. A final refusal to let the Capitol control them. The Capitol panics. This wasn't in the script. Right before they eat them, a voice booms over an intercom in the arena that they both win. It's a win, technically, but the Capitol doesn't like to be outplayed. Katniss knows what she's done, turned their tool of fear into an act of rebellion, and she knows they won't forget it. Back in the Capitol, Katniss and Peeta are celebrated, cleaned up, and prepped for TV appearances. But President Snow isn't smiling. He sees what happened. Their choice with the berries wasn't love. It was rebellion. Haymitch warns Katniss. She needs to keep up the romance angle, convince everyone she wasn't trying to defy the Capitol, just a girl in love. Katniss is conflicted. She feels responsible. Her defiance has made her a symbol, and symbols are dangerous. But she's also just a teenager trying to survive. Peeta, meanwhile, is heartbroken. He finds out Katniss may have been pretending. She's unsure herself. Her feelings are a mess, confused by survival instincts, public pressure, and real connection. She tries to explain, but the damage is done. The victory tour looms. Their performance isn't over. They return to District 12, changed and unsure. Katniss knows this isn't over. She embarrassed the Capitol. She lit a spark. Something's coming. You can feel it. A fire is catching. And that's The Hunger Games. A story about control, image, and survival. About one girl who never asked to be a symbol, but became one anyway. It's about how even small acts, like singing to a dying friend, or refusing to kill someone you care about, can shake a corrupt empire. If you enjoyed the summary, don't forget to like, subscribe, and drop a comment if you want the Catching Fire recap next. Or tell me which book I should cover after that. Thanks for hanging out. See you in the next one.